Okay, guys. So part two on this is what I want to talk about is the proportioning valve or combination valve or the ABS system that will run the rear discs. So when I convert it from drum to discs, there's going to be different pressures that are going to stop the car, right? For safety concerns, you don't want the car to get out of control, the rear end locking up too much or not enough and lose control of the car. So that's why there is those different pressures. But anyway, without going into detail on that, but anyway, I originally thought, well, yeah, the ABS system is that controller, right? Which is true. Some other comments on the threads after I posted this, we're talking about you needing proportional valve or combination valve. Okay, so my vehicle was rear ABS. This vehicle is rear ABS, and it has disc, same exact rear end as the new one that I got and put and swapped onto my Durango. So I'm just going to take this ABS controller because it is a different part number than my ABS module. So I'm going to, I took this apart, so I'm going to take this home, okay? And this will be the one that I use because this one uses with the rear discs. And here is what regulates the pressure. This also, from what I understand, okay, this is what I researched, is that they regulate obviously the anti-lock, so you're not just skidding around, but also regulates different pressure to the rear discs based off of the speed sensor in the rear end, if I'm correct in that. But this does correct for the pressure for the rear discs. So I'm going to take this one that has rear discs so that we use this one, and this one's probably has the right spring or valve for those. So when you're doing your swap, grab the ABS system off this. If your original vehicle has ABS rear, grab the ABS off of the one that you're getting the disc from, so you got it for sure. Now, I don't know anything about the trucks that don't have ABS, the Dakotas or Durangos. So I'm assuming they have some type of proportioning valve or a combination valve without the ABS. So yes, if you don't have the ABS, you'll have to either buy a manual one from somewhere else or find one that is an OE style for the rear discs. This is the part number for this one, okay, which there are different part numbers for this ABS system, right? These ABS modules, and I don't know if it's just because they're different brands of modules or what, but I'm going to take this one off this rear disc vehicle and it should work. So yeah, so there you go. Take that with you, the whole e-brake cable, all the lines that are on the rear end. Take all those lines, the whole assembly, take it all because you're going to need it. So I'm not going to really make a video. Let's wait for the plane real quick. I'm not going to make another video on this rear end unless I find something that didn't work, because right now I can't drive it because I'm doing the Hemi swap and it's not ready to drive. So I'm going to install this one in my vehicle and then get it bled out and see how the brakes work. And I'll do a test drive on that with this, but that'll have to be until the car's done and I can do a test drive. I'll do a test drive with it, gradual stop, slamming, all that stuff, see what happens. But for right now, we're just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any questions, just post them in the comments. Now, I'm not an expert in this. These are just things that I'm figuring out because I wanted to do the swap and listening to comments and and all the Facebook groups, and then doing my own research based off of those comments, figuring out what is what. Okay, none of this has been tested yet for myself, obviously, because I can't drive, but I'll let you guys know. It's probably not going to be for a little while till I can test drive it. Just waiting on parts, so for the engine swap. But there you go. See you guys. Hope it helps. Okay, this is a 2000 Dakota, I think 2000 Dakota. Yeah. So here, this one doesn't have ABS, so it has the combination valve right there. Okay, so that takes place of where the ABS will control it. So if you don't have ABS, you'll need to get one of these that control rear discs, or just buy one from like an aftermarket one and have a manual twist one, and that'll be just as fine. Might even be better because you have control over it. But I just wanted to show you that is a combination valve, 2000 Dakota, non-ABS. Oops. Okay guys, so this is a comparison between my original rear drum ABS controller and the rear disc ABS controller from the 03 Durango with disc, 02 Durango with rear drum. So you can kind of see, let's turn it into light. So it's the discs and it's the drums. So I'm assuming this is where the pressure valve is that regulates the front to rear pressure. So it's a little bit different there, right? Different part number. See, on the valve side, on the module side, definitely a rear different number. The connector should still be the same, but I'll have to look at that, make sure all that the electrical part's the same. It should be, but bracket's the same. See, bracket's the same. I just kept this hose, this line just because I wanted to. Extra brake line sometimes is helpful. But so again, I'm going to reiterate, there was no combination valve or proportion valve on this 03 rear disc Durango. I followed all the brake lines, none of them, there was no proportion valve or combination valve at all. And the research that I've found is that this controls that. I'm just reiterating that again. So there you go. The clip before this, it showed that the ones without ABS do have a combination valve. So yes, if you don't have ABS, then you'll have to get the correct proportion valve or combination valve for it. I would just get an aftermarket proportion valve that you can manually adjust yourself. I think that would be the easiest. But I just wanted to demonstrate, to let you guys know this, to look at the differences. I will be using the disc one. So there you guys go. That's all that I got to say on it until I test drive it.